Hello everyone, Hashishtachi here, and today I'll show you a proof of concept. It's a mobile storage solution, and I don't want to listen to chirp. Ender chests are fine, really, for mobile storage, but they are small, it's only one chest. Now let's get... the song that's playing is not actually chirp, it's something else. So let's get cat, since it's back. And let's get some tools. And it takes the time for the Minecraft to arrive, because of the mobile factor, since the tool's back. And I have a bunch of cobble on me, want to get rid of that. So I'm gonna just send that to my fixed storage. And when I'm tired of this place, I want to go to my other base. It's back here. And on the way I accidentally burn my tools, which is bad. And let's get rid of this lava. And get our tool chest again, and you will see it's the same chest. This is a bit further away, so the minecart takes a bit longer. Get some tools, send it back, then we can get redstone or whatever we want. You can have as many buttons as you want. This is pretty much indefinitely extendable. However, from this to the place where the minecarts are, so from this you actually have to have the place where the minecarts are in loaded chunks, because otherwise it's not going to work. But to connect it to your minecart storage you only need the one redstone wire and one minecart track. Also here it's only this one redstone wire and one minecart track. The blue thing here is just a RS NOR ledge. It just stops that. That's gonna send this track piece, the intersection. And here's our main storage. Minecart with cobble is there. You can put those into our chests. And here's the place where our minecarts are. You can have as many minecarts as you want. You can have 20 or something if you want. And yeah, so let me just relog, which I just sneakily did because of the minecart sound bug in 1.4.2. It's gonna lag the game. So how this works, at every button you need a pulse limiter. You can make them a bit smaller and put them below here or something. However, the pulses need to be 2 ticks apart, redstone ticks. So our first button here, it actually could be too less long, could be too smaller in length. But then for every 2 buttons you need to increase the length by 1 block. And yeah, it all gets through this wire. The lowest pulse is 2 ticks long, then 4, then 6, and so on. That rhymes, by the way. Then it's gonna power all of these pistons here, one after another. And what happens is when a 2-tick pulse arrives, it's gonna extend the piston. The piston needs 1.5 ticks to extend, I believe. So there's half a tick of power here. So it's gonna power this repeater, but it's not gonna power that one because that piston extends 2 ticks later than this one. And yeah, when you press the second button, same thing happens. All pistons extend, but only this gets powered and this repeater gets powered, because here the signal is too short. I will explain you why in just a few seconds. So this repeater, all of these go into a pulse lengthener. This could actually be a bit shorter. However, every 8 minecarts, this needs to be 1 block longer. So it could be 2 for all of these, the gray blocks, but then after card number 8 it has to be 3, and after card number 16 it has to be 4, and after card number 24 it has to be 5, and so on. The pulse lengtheners then all go here into the red blocks, which is gonna power these intersections. So when you press the first button, only this one is powered. When you press the second button, this one and this one is powered, and so on. When you press the last button, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one is powered. So let me explain what happens when we put a card here and press this button. This has no pulse limiter. All of these buttons are hooked up to this redstone wire and power this track. So when you push a button, it sends back the card. However, the send back to your fixed storage button does not send a signal along here, just gonna send the card. What happens? This card goes wee and hits the first intersection, goes into there. And then when we, for example, hit our redstone card here, wait for it to arrive. There it is. Take whatever we want, TNT or so, send it back. It's gonna go wee, and because the first intersection is powered, it's gonna hit the second one, and so on with the other cards. Calling the cards instead of sending them here is actually done with the same signal, because using another signal would need another redstone wire, and is kind of redundant, because when I send back this card, I can also call this card, because when I send it, it's not gonna be here, it's gonna be there or there, so it doesn't matter. And the way this is done is, takes the signal here from the pulse lengthener, goes along here into this pulse shortener, which I didn't plan for, but I needed it in the end. Too bad. Powers this block, powers this redstone wire, powers this block, turns this torch off, which turns this torch on, sends this card. That's for the first button. Let's say we press the fourth button. Gonna power this, it's gonna actually power this, and this, as I explained here. So it's gonna power all these pistons, and then it's gonna power this card, this card, this card, and this card. So all 4. So they all try to get out of here, but these 3 pistons are extended, so only the last one gets out. Yeah, I guess I'll show it to you. Let's press the fourth button, because we just explained it. 3 pistons extend, 4 pistons, 4 cards go, and yeah, card comes here, and I can send it back with the same button, because there's no card here, so no card gets out. Voila. Yeah, the reason to make this is because in my Let's Play I want to have a lot of projects, and they are relatively close to each other, so I can have this in the middle of all these projects, and then have these things a few hundred blocks away. But never more than, I don't know what the limit is for loaded chunks. But the thing could be back there, no problem, because this wire can be as long as you want. Yeah. And obviously the further away you go, the longer it takes for the minecarts to get there. However, the minecart is gonna be here, faster than you running through your storage room and back. Though I think it's kind of neat. Let's talk about size. It's 2 wide by 7 high. Yes. 8? No, 7. There are 8 with the minecarts on top. Minecart tracks on top. So 2 by 8 by 20 or something. I don't count that. It was 17 at first, but I needed this pulse extender. For every card. So you can have 20 cards here. It's gonna be this long. However, every 8 cards it needs to be 1 longer. Because the pulse extenders need to be longer. And yeah, that's pretty much all there's to it, and this is just a proof of concept. It's by no means finished. I just had the idea and threw it together and it turned out like this, which is already pretty small, but I'm relatively sure I can make it smaller at least a bit. Can also make these smaller a bit. Yeah, it's not really hard the way I do it. The hardest thing about it was figuring this out. So not really the intersection thing, I had this in mind from the very beginning, but the pattern here, how cards go out and come in. Because usually I don't do much with minecarts. It looks pretty obvious though, but for me it wasn't obvious. The intersection here is really sloppy, but just threw it together to make it work. Can make that smaller, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was everything I wanted to say about this. So again, this is just a proof of concept, it's not finished. If you want something like this and a tutorial on this, I will do it once I finished it by my standards. So I want to make it smaller especially, and maybe a bit faster. I don't know if that is possible. And yeah, I think it's pretty neat. It's extendable how long you like. Can have as many cards as you want. One thing I will do probably is set up a card dispenser more or less here. So there's, let's say, 4 cards in here. You press a button, it's gonna send all 4 cards, and then you have 4 of these return stations here. So all the 4 cards come. The first one goes here, the second one goes to the one next to it. So you have basically 2 double chests for every button. And then you send them back and they all just go into the dispenser. However, I have to look at some tutorials on this because I usually don't do much with minecarts. And I want to have it as small as possible, and it has to fit into a 1x2 space without any problems, without any weird side connections to the other modules here. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, sweet dreams and stuff, and yeah. If you want a full tutorial on this, you have to check back later.